Hello everybody, welcome back. We are here in my hangar. You can't tell because there's some big old ship in the way. You can guess what it is. It is the Lucent Moon. I did manage to get my hands on 3 Lucent Moons after trading my Roarfall and my 3 Marshals. And this is sort of the setup I've got right now on it. We've got 2 rapid larges, a remote shield booster, interruptive grappler, shield command burst, capital Nosferatu, logistic support tactical module. The only reason I have this is for the scan resolution and sensor strength. After I lock everything up, I will turn this off. I can also use it to boost the amount of healing that this is doing, if I need to. This particular module will be used in Dormant Realm 3, Law of the Deep. That is my intentions with the Lucent Moon, other than to use it for high-sec events like Wasteseeker anomalies and other high-sec related events. We have, and the event going on right now has allowed me to pick up, I believe it's 27 per ship of these pulsar heavies. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's like 30 something, actually. Or close to it. Somewhere in there. It's a lot. But each one of these, as it sits right now, is doing about 2,562 DPS. We have 4 flights, which puts us at about 10,600 before we activate any of our fighter control arrays. So we have 3 C-type fire control arrays. These will boost our damage and reduce the activation time on the fighters. We have a damage control, even though I know it gets bonus to the whole energizer. I feel the capital damage control is just better. We don't have any skills in our advanced logistic drone skill. I'll eventually get some of that so I can have the drone flight velocity. That's the only thing I care about there. But I don't even know if that will affect the fighters. We have 2 capital cap batteries. We have a invulnerability field and a C-type shield booster. Under our rigs, we're running 3 burst aerators for our fighters, and we have 3 capital capacitor control CCCC circuits. In order to have the fighters, I did have to use a fighter bay hangar refactoring. What this does is give our fighters a 25% damage boost, removes 1 launch tube from the 5 that it would have if it was running drones, and it increases their flight velocity by 15%. Very nice. I still have 1 medium slot that is open currently. I am pretty sure I will fill that with a tactical module here. Pretty sure I'm gonna put like a swarm carrier defense mod if I can put it on there. I mean, 100,000 power grid, I'm pretty sure I can do that. So it's definitely a thought that I'm having to look at. I think it would be good because it'll increase flight velocity and ship damage. But this is what lightweight ships, so maybe never mind. Okay. I don't know, if you have a suggestion for that open mid slot, let me know. For now, I'm just going to fill it with target painters. If I even have enough. I don't. It's not really necessary. Right, I'm just gonna remove that then. We're gonna leave that open for now. Alright, so that gives you an idea of the base values that I'm working with. I do have the aerospace implant on here. And under the aerospace implant, I am running the drone damage for my Dominic's Navy issues. And then I'm also running the fighter fire control on this one particular character. Yeah, we've got some Lucents. There we are. We're just about to undock and see what our DPS is like out when we're out and about. So just hang on in. I couldn't get my hands on any of the Navy carriers, and on top of that, it just makes more sense to have a carrier for high sec. I did think about the lightweight ships, but it was going to be significantly more expensive. And I do prefer fighters over the lightweight ships. My original Lucent Moon had lightweight ships as its option, but it just did not quite outperform my Cyan at the time. Just because I had to train into a whole lot more skills just for the lightweight ships to get the maximum benefit. Another reason I've chosen Lucent is because we are really close to getting our what are they called? Our Lancer Dreadnoughts. And so, for Lancer Dreadnought, I want to go for the Karura. But we'll have to wait for events that will drop these kind of Cosmic Treasure Op supplies. And then I'll pick the Hubris. Not the Karura. I keep trying to choose between the Karura or the Hubris, but the Karura is currently not as good as the Phoenix Bodyguard, so I'll probably choose the Hubris. Alright, let's go ahead and undock. I have no idea what I'm going to use the Hubris for. I might just use it if I get bored of the Phoenixes and use it in Dormant 410. I might just sit on them until I can trade them for something. Oh, I'm in a Dormant Realm fleet. There we go.
Undocking.
I traded in the Northwall and 3 Marshals. Alright, so here we are out in space. Of course, for a while now, Gina hasn't been loading in for me. Don't really know why, don't really care too much. So it was a large trade-in in terms of value. I pretty much lost about 40 billion in value for just the hulls of the ship. However, now that they're fitted, aside from my defense rig system, I do need 3 shield defense rig systems for these. I ended up with more value in the end. Alright. So here's what we are at with on the top left. This is with everything active in terms of defense, the shield command burst, and my DPS. So we're at 18. We'll probably get up to about 21 once I get some better skills. I can also change around some of my general units and stuff to make it better. Defense is sitting about 2,305,000. And that is without the shield system on here. Okay, so without the what's this one sitting on? So this is without. I mean, I guess I'm getting boosted anyway. You can just see some differences in my character's skills. So about 17, 17, and 18, and this will be our active DPS. Very happy with it. Alright, let us head to Para, where I have a few different labs that we're going to do today, and a couple of missions as well, because I wanted to make some money and just enjoy the ship today.
Fleet jump.
It's certainly not the best DPS that I could have. We're working with no nanocore. We're also working with very basic general units. We'll get there eventually. My main intent for these Lucents is to be able to do Dormant Realm 3 Law of the Deep at level
Warp
9
drive
and level
active.
10. for them to get out of warp.
Fleet jump.
This one mission that we're heading toward is a 5.5 million ISK lab. Hopefully we will see a cyan spawn. It would be very nice if we did.
Warp drive active.
Oh jeez. Yeah. Y'all just fighting to fight for it, or are you having area disputes? Oh yeah. Don't they fight all the time? God. They've been going at it for like a while now, haven't they?
Fleet warp.
Oh jeez, 47 supers.
Warp drive active.
That's pretty good. And that's just what you know of. There could be a few more that you're not aware of. Alright, so we will activate our
We're being
lock
warp
system.
scrambled.
And we'll get our GPS going here.
Enemy ships detected.
This is definitely one of my favorite ways to play in labs. I like to warp into the middle of them and see all of the explosions around me.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled.
They must have done some balance adjustments to the Lucent Moon, because it locks a lot faster than it used to. Actually feels fairly reasonable. compared to when I originally had it.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled.
Real money transactions are sort of a hard situation to talk about in general. I feel like if the game developers were to put out their own system for that, I think they could support it, where every, like, however many percentage of a purchase would go to them, to support them through that website. I think that would be the best way to handle that, but just outside of game, it's a huge risk. A lot of people have been
Enemy
scammed
ships
and
detected.
absolutely ruined because of it. And so normally I would not support it. But if done right, and if the devs were willing to pursue doing it right, um, I could definitely see like a way where it could work. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't normally support real money transactions in games, um, because players have been outright ruined because of it. But if done right by the devs, they could support themselves plus allow that to happen without the risk of having a problem like that. Alright, so that was our 5.5 millionth lab. We did not have a science one. We're now going to take each one of these into their own labs.
Autopilot engaged.
As far as I can tell, like, G2A has been um, fairly reliable of a
Warp
place to
drive
do that
active.
kind of stuff. I don't participate in it. I don't want anything to do with it. But I haven't seen any horror stories out of G2A quite yet. Or, but I'm also not looking for it. Lucents can be very slow to warp. That's
Warp
just what
drive
they do.
active.
Alright, yes sir. You take care and be safe. See if we can get ourselves to these different labs.
Warp drive active.
So right now we're going to have each one of these do their own lab to show the comparison between running 3 of them in a lab versus just one in its own. It'll still be very quick.
Destination reached. Warp drive active.
We're under attack.
Alright, let's see what they do.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Still waiting on this one to warp into its mission.
We're being warp scrambled.
I could probably just leave that running. Just so we lock things that little bit faster. It's not affecting our DPS, so that is fine.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
We are just sitting right in the middle of this lab, and there's just nothing these ships can do to us.
Enemy ships detected. We're under
Got another
attack.
wave coming in. This should be the last wave for the top left. Okay, so that initial burst of bounty take there was 10 million on each character, or 11 million on each character. That is from our 5.5 millionist lab. Where we had all three of these ships in the same thing. And that ship has completed its mission. We'll have another one of these Ironblood Sepulchre
Autopilot engaged.
missions to view.
Warp drive active.
I do enjoy that these ships can just sit right in the middle of a lab and not have an issue. Wonder if I have something closer. Alright, it will be a while before we make it to our missions.
Warp drive active. Go ahead and warp into this mission. This is the Ironblood Sepulchre mission. Should be nice and quick for 6 million ISK. Warp drive active. Destination reached.
Slowly getting on the grid here. Alright, let's get them taken care of.
Warp drive active.
It's interesting that these are holding up a little bit better, but I believe it's just because of the resistances.
We're under attack.
There is a battleship in this wave. I don't think I've had a look at a battleship. There it is. That's pretty cool looking.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Well, that's good. Then this will give us some time to see if we can pull up another lab. Got a 5 million lab we can do. Nice, another 5 million lab.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
I realized why I wasn't healing as much, and that's because I had my logistics thing going for locking targets. And that was an 18 million bounty there. Alright, so now we've got our next lab to go to.
Autopilot engaged. Warp drive active. Destination reached. Warp drive active.
Waiting on Worf for this one.
We're being warp scrambled. Enemy ships detected.
Can you see just how quickly normal ships die compared to the event ships? And we're gonna get this one to its left.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Yeah, they've definitely done some updates to the Lucent Moon since I last had one, which is when it first came out.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Okay, time to get all three of them locking things as they go. Like I said earlier, I chose to go with the Lucent Moon for a variety of reasons. The main reason being is I could not get my hands on the Navy carriers. The people who are buying the Navy carriers are also the ones who wanted to fly them. And that would be all those carrier pilots in Nullsec that are just grinding away at it day after day.
Enemy ships
And
detected.
so,
We're
the next
under
available
attack.
ship that was comparable to those was the Lucent Moon, or the Cyan. The Cyan is a weaker version of the Lucent Moon. That's the way I view it now. Seeing how it's performing here, I don't see why a Cyan is necessary. Uh, Especially when it has an equivalent ship in the Lucent Moon. If you ever got bored of fighters, you can go up to lightweight ships with the Lucent Moon by getting the lightweight ship hangar bay mod. It's definitely a very flexible ship as well. So that is nice. It will perform exactly what I need it to. I do need quite a few more skills here, but I don't need nearly as many because I'm running fighters and not lightweight ships. Lightweight ships need destroyer skills, small weapon skills, lightweight ship skills, and versatile assault carrier skills, if I remember correctly. Whereas the fighters just need the carrier skills, the fighters, and that's it. The Lucent Moon itself uses both carrier skills and force auxiliary skills, but only when force auxiliary is an option, when you have to train into that instead of carrier. Alright. That character has completed its journey for today. Unless, of course, I can run another... No, I cannot. We'll send them back to Gina.
Autopilot
That was
engaged.
a pretty successful run. So the second reason, or another reason I chose the Lucent over, say, Cyan. I've had a Cyan for a long time, and I just wanted to fly something a little different. It's got the same flavor, but it's like twice or three times the size. Completely ruins the hangar bay. I wish they would let us zoom out,
Warp drive active.
or just scale it down inside the hangar. That flexibility of being able to go between lightweight ships and fighters, so long as you have the hangar mod, is so good. The Cyan is also not as tanky as the Lucent Moon. I find the Lucent Moon to be a much more tanky ship. And it's very equivalent to the new Navy carriers in that regard. It's also a pretty high value
Warp drive active.
compared to the Cyan, because of all those extra features that it has over the Cyan. It will output the same level of DPS as a Cyan as well. It does not struggle in that regard. And now that it seems they've done some updates to the Lucent Moon itself, it locks ships much quicker. It used to be that Cyan would lock almost instantly, and Lucent Moon would be sometimes 15 seconds behind that if it's trying to lock a frigate. So with whatever changes they did to the Lucent Moon's sensor system, it seems to have fixed that issue. Also, them releasing the logistics module for the Cyan allows it to lock things much quicker as well, without hindering its DPS, but it does hinder its repair capabilities. it is also one of the few ships that are capital ships that are high-sec capable. As you can see, I am comfortably flying around in high-sec without worry of being attacked or Concord coming after me. It's a very good ship. Hopefully I can turn these ships into my Dormant Realm 3 ships. So if you have any suggestions on how I should be setting this up
Warp drive
to
active.
handle Dormant Realm 3, let me know in the comments. It will help me greatly, because I want to be able to provide mission runs of Dormant Realm 310 with these ships for you. And especially so on Mondays when we get to do Dormant Realm carries, I want to give you the option of
Destined docking request
310
accepted.
or 410, and being able to do that, I think, would be a good way to provide you guys with content, as well as a sort of way to say thank you for following me and just interacting in general. It's the least I can do for the community, is to be able to do Dormant Realm runs for you. Still waiting on this one to get back to Gina. So I will leave you all here. Thank you for joining me on this 1 hour of labs in the Lucent Moon. It is certainly not as exciting as the marshals and things, just because it's been out for a while. Everyone knows what it's capable of in the community in general, but it is nice to have ships that should be able to do what I need them to, especially during high-sec events like Wayseeker Labs, which should be coming up soon, I would hope. I will look into getting a few what do you call it? A few auto salvagers, so that way I can sit in the labs and collect loot that way, or in the waste seekers and collect loot for that. So I want to say thank you all so much. If you want to see more content, you can find me at Orion Ikoa. That is this name right up here in the top left. And that is my YouTube channel. I upload most of my streams to that channel. It is mostly an Eve Echoes channel, although once in a while I will post other games. I can't tell you how much how happy it makes me when you guys leave a like or a comment. It just blows me away how much you guys have supported me thus far, and it means the world to me. I could not explain to you how much it actually means to me. So thank you all so much, and have a great day.